Welcome to Fun Facts Daily, your source for just the good stuff. Monday through Friday, we're bringing fun facts and news you can use, all carefully curated to uplift and inform. So give yourself a break, relax, and learn something awesome in just a few minutes every day. Hi everyone, I'm Kyle Wood, and today we're going to be learning all about the World Cup. But before we get into the facts, let's warm up our brains with a little challenge to see if you can tell fact from fiction. Consider this. Referees use yellow and red cards to maintain order on the field, but would you believe they came up with this system in the inaugural tournament in 1930 as organizers planned the very first World Cup? They supposedly decided on a color-coded system with yellow moving to red because it seemed like a universally understandable progression. Some say this visual system was meant to signal that a player was in hot water, so to speak, with the card colors getting increasingly warm as the penalties escalated. What do you think? Is this an actual fact or just too good to be true? We'll find out at the end of the episode. Now for your word of the day. Our word for today is pitch. That's Pitch. Pitch is the official term for the playing field where a soccer match takes place. FIFA has strict regulations on World Cup pitches requiring a rectangular surface of natural or hybrid grass 105 meters long and 68 meters wide. Groundskeepers carefully maintain the pitch by monitoring irrigation, drainage, and lighting systems to keep it in perfect condition throughout the month-long tournament. The etymology of the word pitch comes from the work required to prepare early sports fields. In the late 14th century, the verb pitch meant to thrust or drive a stake into the ground, and we still kind of use that definition today when people pitch a tent. Before permanent stadiums existed, players had to measure their playing area and manually drive wooden stakes into the ground to mark the field boundaries. And over time, the location where the boundaries were pitched simply became known as, well, the pitch. Time for your daily high five, our top 5 fun facts about the World Cup. Number 1. The World Cup was created after the Olympic Committee decided to remove soccer from the 1932 Summer Games. In the early 1900s, the Olympic Games was the main international soccer competition, but the International Olympic Committee wanted to keep the games for amateurs only and strictly prohibited professional athletes from participating. FIFA President Jules Rimet pushed for a separate tournament to allow the best players in the world to compete. This disagreement peaked when the IOC decided it would drop soccer from the 1932 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles, citing a lack of popularity for the sport in the US. In response, FIFA announced the creation of the World Cup. Uruguay was selected to host the first tournament in 1930 to celebrate the centenary of its first constitution and its status as the reigning Olympic soccer champion. Only 13 teams participated in this inaugural event because many European countries found it too expensive sending athletes on a 3-week transatlantic boat trip during the global economic depression. Jules Rimet personally persuaded Belgium, France, Romania, and Yugoslavia to make the journey, traveling on the same ship as the European players and the tournament trophy. While it may have struggled to entice participants early on, today the World Cup is one of the biggest sports competitions on Earth, drawing billions of viewers. It's estimated that over 70% of the world's population tunes into the World Cup across various media platforms. Number 2. In the first World Cup final, each team preferred a different type of ball, so they compromised and used both. During the 1930 tournament, there was no standardized ball provided by the organizers. When Argentina and Uruguay reached the final match, both teams brought their own soccer balls to the stadium. Argentina preferred their Tiento model, which was smaller and lighter. Uruguay insisted on using the heavier T model ball. The referee decided to compromise, flipping a coin to determine which would be used first. They used the Argentine ball for the first half, followed by the Uruguayan ball for the second half. While the dispute over the ball might seem trivial, it appears to have made all the difference in the game. Argentina took a 2-1 lead during the first half while playing with their preferred Tiento ball. When the teams switched to the heavier T model for the second half, Uruguay took control of the game. Uruguay scored 3 unanswered goals with their own ball and won the match with a final score of 4-2. Number 3. The lowest attendance in World Cup history was an estimated 300 people. Today, pretty much every game in the World Cup is played in front of sold-out stadiums. Millions, even billions of people will tune in to follow a big game on TV and other media, but early international soccer tournaments actually struggled to attract crowds due to the difficulties of long-distance travel in the early 20th century. During the 1930 group stage, Romania faced Peru in Uruguay. The ticket logs indicated that over 2,000 tickets were actually sold for the match, but stadium records show that only about 300 spectators actually came out to watch the game due to freezing temperatures and a lack of local interest in the two foreign teams. Despite the empty stands, the fans who did attend witnessed some historical milestones. The Romanian forward, Adalbert Desu, scored a goal 50 seconds into the match, the fastest goal of that tournament. Romania went on to win that game 3-1. While 50 seconds was the record speed for scoring a goal in the 1930 tournament, the fastest goal in World Cup history came in 2002 when Turkey's Hakan Sukur scored a goal in just 10.8 seconds. As far as audience stats, I've already mentioned how big the global audience can be today, but the record for the largest crowd attendance was set in 1950 in the World Cup final in Brazil, with over 173,000 fans in attendance. Number 4. The original World Cup trophy was stolen, and then a week later, a dog named Pickles found it in some bushes. The original prize awarded to the tournament winners was the Jules Rimet Trophy, a statuette made of gold-plated sterling silver. In 1966, 4 months before the tournament began in England, the trophy was stolen from a public stamp exhibition in London, despite security guards patrolling the venue. Police launched a citywide search, and a ransom note demanding £15,000 was sent to the Football Association chairman. A week later, a collie named Pickles was just out for a walk and started nosing around a hedge, and that's where they discovered the trophy wrapped in newspaper. Pickles became an international celebrity, earning a medal and starring in a film for his discovery. The trophy was actually stolen a second time years later. In 1970, Brazil won the tournament for the third time, granting them the right to keep the trophy permanently. In 1983, thieves broke into the Brazilian Football Confederation headquarters in Rio de Janeiro and stole the cup from a bulletproof display case. The trophy was never recovered, and investigators concluded it was likely melted down and sold as gold bars. Today, winners receive the FIFA World Cup trophy, which remains property of the governing body and is kept under strict lock and key. And our fifth and final fun fact for today, the 2026 World Cup marks the first time that 3 nations have jointly hosted the tournament. The 2026 tournament is making history as the United States, Canada, and Mexico share hosting duties. This cooperative effort spans 16 cities across the North American continent. Previously, the only co-hosted tournament was in 2002 when Japan and South Korea shared the event. The expanded geography allows more fans access to live matches without traveling overseas. It also distributes the financial and infrastructure burden of hosting the event across multiple countries. This 2026 tournament introduced an expanded format, increasing the number of participating teams from 32 to 48. And this expansion gives us a total of 104 matches compared to the traditional 64. Mexico also sets another historical milestone, becoming the first country to host the tournament 3 times after previous events in 1970 and 1986. Now for some news you can use. If you want to follow the tournament, it's important to learn how to track group stage tiebreakers. Teams earn 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, and 0 points for a loss. When teams finish the group stage with the same number of points, the first tiebreaker used is a goal difference. This is calculated by subtracting the total goals they allowed from the total goals they scored. And this system is why they continue to push for more goals and run up their score even when it seems like they're assured the win. They're thinking about not only their victory in that one game, but their point totals for the group stage. By tracking the goal difference yourself on a spreadsheet or a notepad, you can predict what your team needs to do in their final match to advance. Understanding this mathematical component adds some tension, drama, and excitement to games that might otherwise appear decided. Finally, the moment you've been waiting for. At the beginning of the episode, I asked, did organizers create the yellow and red card system for the 1930 World Cup based on warm colors signifying that a player's in hot water? This one's a fallacy. For the first 40 years of the tournament, referees actually just gave verbal warnings and expulsions. As you might imagine, the verbal system frequently caused confusion on the field due to language barriers between referees and international players. The visual penalty card system was invented by the English referee Ken Aston after the 1966 tournament. He got the idea while he was sitting at a traffic light. He realized that yellow for caution and red for stop would translate across all languages, and FIFA officially introduced the physical penalty cards at the 1970 World Cup in Mexico. Now, I hope you enjoyed learning a bit about the World Cup with me today, and be sure to tune in every weekday for even more fun facts. Fun Facts Daily is an Airwave Media podcast. It was written, recorded, mixed, and edited by me, Kyle Wood. Thanks for sharing a part of your day with me. Be sure to follow Fun Facts Daily on your favorite podcast app so you can keep the good stuff coming your way every day. And if you like the show, please do me a favor and leave a kind rating, review, or just tell your friends about it.